How likely is it that Kristaps Porzingis re-signs with the Golden State Warriors? Because this is just not about one player. This is about the Warriors front office, Steph Curry's timeline, the center position, and whether or not Golden State is trying to win right now, or just patch up holes and hope for the best. Porzingis is heading into unrestricted free agency, and the Warriors have interest in bringing KP back. But is it smart re-signing KP? Let's dive in.
The real, no fake. ThaAuthenticTake. Yeah, the real, no fake.
Does this move really make sense? Porzingis gives the Warriors what they've been looking for a while now. A real stretch big man. A 7-footer who can block shots, definitely can space the floor, can pick and pop with Steph Curry, and definitely punish mismatches. For years, the Warriors have had questions at the center position, even being desperate enough to have Draymond Green at the 5 all the time, which we've seen as the years have gone by is not working anymore. But Kristaps definitely gives the Warriors a different kind of look, probably a better look. And when you put a shooting big next to Steph Curry, that changes the geometry of the floor. Defenses already panic when Steph Curry comes off screens. Now you got a big man that doesn't just sit in the paint, he could roll out for threes. That's really the upside if you look at it. Not only do you got to worry about containing Steph Curry when he gets off those screens, but now you got to worry about the screen maker just fading behind the three-point line and hitting those shots consistently. Right now with the Warriors, Kristaps is averaging 16.7 points a game, 5.2 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and he's shooting over 44% from the field. Those aren't superstar numbers, but that's offensive value that the Warriors could use, especially with putting size on the court. Here's what's interesting though. The Warriors might not want to keep Kristaps because Golden State in free agency could lose a lot of salary for nothing. And that's not something the Warriors can afford while trying to maximize Steph Curry's career timeline. Losing a major rotation piece is not something that the Warriors can afford while trying to conclude Steph Curry's career. Porzingis is coming off a 2-year, $60 million deal, and his salary last year was $30 million. Now in free agency, will he get that number back? Probably not. I mean, for sure, probably not. But the Warriors could give him a shorter deal with stronger money attached to that deal. And honestly, that feels really possible. I mean, me personally, I do want Kristaps back. I just have always loved a big man that can shoot three, and he could do the things down low as well. But there has been speculation that because of the CBA rules and Kristaps Porzingis' injury history, that a sign and trade to get something better is really unlikely, and that the Warriors will most likely just sign Kristaps outright or risk losing him overall. And by that situation, that gives Kristaps Porzingis his leverage. It's definitely not superstar leverage, but enough leverage to say that Warriors, you traded for me, you don't have an easy replacement, pay me the money. Warriors, what's your offer? But we gotta keep it real. The biggest reason that this situation is not a slam dunk is because of Porzingis' health. Porzingis has always been talented, basically been a unicorn his whole career since getting drafted by the New York Knicks. But the question is always his availability. If you're the Warriors, you can't just look at the highlights because the highlights look good. You really got to ask, can he stay on the floor? Can he survive a whole playoff series? Because if you look at the Celtics when they won the championship when he was on the floor, on the team, he was rarely on the floor. Honestly, I don't remember how much he played after the first round. Can he still handle the physicality? Can he give you a 55 to 65 game season? And quite frankly, that is the risk. The Warriors are already an older team with Steph, Draymond, and other veterans. And basically, the Warriors don't have the availability to gamble on another player that might not see time on the court. That's why this contract, if offered, has to be smart. Not emotional, not desperate, but smart. A 1-year deal, that makes sense. A 2-year deal with protections, that also makes sense. A 3 or 4 year contract, that's where it gets me a little nervous. And honestly, with the regime that is kind of wrapping up, it would seem so in the next 2 years, I think it would be plain stupid if you offer more than a 2-year contract. because Porzingis can help you win games, and he's proven that with his stint so far. But if the money gets too high and the contract is too long, I believe the Warriors in the long run will regret that. Does Kristaps Porzingis want to stay in Golden State? I think that's an important part of this. It's not just whether the Warriors want him, because he could go wherever he wants. And two main things is that the opportunity to play along Steph Curry, who we already labeled the GOAT. And another person he named the GOAT was the head trainer on the Warriors training staff. And I think that goes along with the long-time projections of his health, especially for the upcoming season, that he has someone that he could trust, that he feels puts his health in the best situation. Because at this stage of his career, Kristaps isn't just chasing a big number. He's chasing a fit, a role, his health, and a chance to compete. And Golden State gives him a real role. For Porzingis, in my personal opinion, this just might be the perfect situation for him. But then again, who am I to say? Money talks. Another team could just come in and offer him that big money. So it's really on him. Does he want to go for the big number, or does he want a chance to have a real role with a team like the Golden State Warriors? What would the Warriors offer? What I see as being the fit is the Warriors are going to offer Kristaps Porzingis a one-year deal at a high salary, because anything multi-year is just really going to trample them or not be an option. Or if they go a 2-year deal, then it would have to be more team-friendly structured, because right now I think the Golden State Warriors realize that they can't get trapped in this contract, but it's a bitter pill to swallow to just lose him for nothing, which is still an option on the table. So this could get done. So how likely is it? I give it 70-30. It's more likely than not, because the way he was kind of rotting in Atlanta, I thought honestly his career was probably going to die over there, because Boston got rid of him. They're like, we got to make a transition to like keep on this championship, run, which didn't happen. But I feel like Golden State, and especially playing with Steph, kind of like revitalized Kristaps a little bit. So I think he respects that about Golden State. So I think more than likely, though it is not guaranteed, that he will sign short term with the Golden State Warriors. Wrapping this up, the Warriors should sign Kristaps Porzingis, but they cannot overcommit, because he helps Steph, he gives them size, he definitely gives them spacing, and he gives them a dynamic offensive look. But this contract has to protect the Warriors based on his health. So Dub Nation, let me know in the comments. Would you bring back Kristaps Porzingis? How much are you willing to really pay KP? Would you give him 1 year, 2 years, or would you just let him walk? Let me know. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This has been The Authentic Take.
The authentic take. The real, no fake. The authentic take. Yeah, the real, no fake.